Welcome to the Balanced Body Mind Improving Energy Digestion Hormones Coaching Program. For taking the temperature, there is a video on how to take temperature and pulse, and I'd actively encourage you to look at that. The question I often get asked is why using an armpit or auxiliary temperature is more effective than using, say, the mouth or the ear. Well, first of all, the core is probably the first place you're going to see any metabolic downturn. It's well known that with problems like digestion, which are heavily linked to constipation, which can be an energy state, often goes along with that hypothyroid state. So generally, the colder we are, our digestion tends to suffer. And we can pick up this temperature change, first of all, in the armpit. So taking your armpit, first of all, for 4 or 5 minutes in the morning is getting a really good indicator of that. A lot of doctors often suggest that using the mouth or the ears is a much better marker of that. I would counter that with this argument. 75% of the blood glucose is actually, or the body's glucose, is used by the brain. Seeing the brain not functioning and being able to use glucose correctly and not having a warm head is one of the first things you're going to see when there's a really advanced problems. We'll probably be able to make more subtle distinctions by seeing if the core cools down first of all, and we may see issues like digestive issues, constipation, and other symptoms associated with hypothyroid or subclinical hypothyroid states. Another issue that might be is that when it comes to brain energy, we know that with thyroid issues, the brain can slow down, we can get depressive-like states. And this does tend to happen, but it's usually something that tends to go on a longer time rather than in the short term. So people who've been experiencing changes to the digestive system, changes to mood, probably one of the first things we're going to see is a change in temperature to the core. So this is why I would suggest that actually using the core or the auxiliary reading as a temperature perspective to correlate with pulse is going to give us a much more accurate reading than simply looking at the armpit alone. So what I want you to do to start off with is, by all means, feel free just to go and do an armpit reading and then correlate that with the mouth. Let it heat up in the armpit first of all, then give it a wipe and stick it in your mouth and then see what that is. Correlate that with your pulse, and that will give you an idea from an energy perspective what your energy and metabolic state is doing. So go and record it and then feed back to me on what the actual readings are coming back as. Hope you find that useful.